Mr. Hammer a popular actor? Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio. Was? Past tense? Oh yes, he was as great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He shone the brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate. It's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him? Well, now what do I do? Ooh, we can go to the employee area. Oh, let's go to the employee area. Nick! This is where they do all the behind the scenes stuff. Hey, look, there's Power's dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around. Alright. Might as well go to his dressing room. The door to the dressing room. It's not locked. Hey, Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir? What do you mean, find? You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear. We don't need a spear! And that's the murder weapon for crying out loud. Oh, okay. Ooh, what is this? The metal grate on the drain here has been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to pay at the gate. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest. Right. Huh? Hey, I'm not a kid! Alright. Food. The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak. T-bone steak. That would have hit the spot. You just had a burger! Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. What? God, Maya's weird. Okay. So, I'm gonna see if we can move into the dressing room. Yeah, okay, let's go. October 16th, Global Studios dressing room. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping? Or at least, this is where he claims he was sleeping. No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they? Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth for his sake. Alright. There's no reason for me to move anywhere. Here's some ruffled bed. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. Some tea and cookies. Nick, I'm hungry. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweets. How many stomachs does this girl have? God. There's a vast array of cosmetics here. Ooh! This is the wig you used at Samurai Boogie Woogie. Nick, try this on. No. How can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig? I, kinda like samurai movies. Kinda. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. These must be his own clothes. It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes. I'd say you were already wearing one myself. Oh God, shots fired. This must be Powers' bag. Hey, don't open that. Look! An employee card key. That must be Powers'. It says Studio 1. Let's take it, Nick. Borrow it. You mean borrow. Card key added to the, court record. Sorry. Can't read. Alright. Employee area. Alright, so now we gotta move over to the main gate. So now we gotta move over here to outside Studio 1. And now we gotta move, or now we gotta examine Studio 1 gate. Let's go! This is the studio where they found Jackhammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. Beep. It opened! Alright, we're in. She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. Alright, let's go to Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape! It's so real. Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Okay, crime scene. The outline where Jackhammer's body lay with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few blood stains. I guess the costume must have absorbed most of it. That's suspicious. That there's no blood. I didn't even think of that. That's really suspicious. Looks like a backdrop for a stage. It's supposed to be used in the Steel Samurai show. Of course, that's the mountain, Neo Fujiyama. Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there? Not old Tokyo, Nick. Neo old Tokyo. Oh, right. Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought. Hey, you, no touching that. Sorry. My partner is kind of, You know? No, I don't know. Who are you? Who? Me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff. Moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP. I get it. I don't envy you guys one bit. But do what you can for WP, okay? He never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry. Leave it to us. Okay, so Mrs. Penny, a new person involved into our little thing. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yes, I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see. Only one assistant? Yes, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Power's dressing room is, right? Yes, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Okay, Miss Penny. Penny's doing pretty nice. She's giving us some nice evidence. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private. What kind of a girl do you think I am? Well, what kind? No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. I'm sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Sorry. I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue! A lead! Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed? Yes, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed him? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I don't have any better information than that. No thanks, that helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. Alright. I don't think I need to talk to Penny anymore. Here we go, main gate. October 16th, main gate. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. God, I hate this lady. Clean. What? I saw that suspicious look on your face. I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammond's death was 2:30. Are you sure the Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day. What? Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Eek! Alright, you better tell me and tell me quick, you spiky-haired cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh? We were just talking to the assistant in Studio One. Her! She's not even a full-time employee! All you youngins are like that nowadays. Tomorrow Singh is oh god, not one of these again. I can't read this. She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. Okay, I need to check in there. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Nick, maybe we could see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Try it. Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work these things, Nick. Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see, first I need the date of the murder. Looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. 1. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of the security camera. Oh god. So the day of the murder, that would be 10:15 or something like that. What the? Please enter the number of the security camera. God. 2:30. What? Oh no, I'm just gonna guess this. There, entered. Nothing happened. Huh? Maybe I got the number wrong. Maybe we should go look at that camera again. Alright, so we need to go find the number. Alright, so let's go find the number outside of Studio One. Let's examine the camera. Hey, there's a camera here. That's a security camera. It takes photos of people going to the studio. All you have to do is look at the data and you can see who went where. There's a number plate on the camera. 307. Alright. 307, 307, 307. 307, 307, 307. 307, 307, 307, 307. 307, 307, 307. 307, 307. Who's in the number? 307. There, entered. Hey, it printed out the data for that day. Let's see what we got. How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. Huh? October 15th, 2 p.m. Photo number 2! What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day. Nope, that's the only one in the computer. October 15th. Didn't happen on the 16th. I don't know, let me look at the court record. Oh, dang, okay. Hey, Nick, can someone use this photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put the security lady in her place with this. Right, we'll put her in her place. Hey, that's what I said. Anyways, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Oh, wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So, are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady. To be continued. Nice. Alright, saved. Alright, I think the trial is next. I said day 2 trial. October 18th. District Court, courtroom number 4. Alright, here we go. The fun part. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Tamara in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call the most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. God, I hate this guy. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. Actors did a run through of their action scenes during the morning here. Here's the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? I think I'm good. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Samurai spear. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please! Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma. So even when I was young, I was an old bag, still to all their children. Believe it, but there was this... Objection! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one heck of an old bag. When it says, on the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from there until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. Saw the defendant then? Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Oh, God. Okay. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. Jack Solotov's airport. God, it's not enough, do I? I will have to... Hold it! What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question! Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know. Observing? Was it supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper! I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Hold it! So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks, not even a second. Of course! I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just, after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday, I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time? Snipper-wapper? Snipper-wapper? Old windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Now, the murder happened at 2 p.m., right? Ah! Hold it! How'd you know that? Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job. Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting rounded out by a security guard. Interesting to me, because a certain man walked by. 2! You're sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. How do you know it was Powers? So you saw Mr. Powers? That's what I said. Got wax in your ear, sonny? I got it. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it was Powers, lady? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure was. Objection! Get rag, lady. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you when he said, Sonny, anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't! Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai! I know that! I wasn't born yesterday! No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness. He's having trouble calling her Old Bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Humph, nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edward speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Witness testimony. Man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean. Mind you, that morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Alright. So I'm going to ask her first how she knows that he sprained his ankle. Hold it! Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot? Okay. You can see he's dragging his legs. See? Clear as day. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. It doesn't look like he's dragging his leg. Doesn't look like he was dragging his foot. See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? Hold it! Still, you can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers! Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg. He has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers. There's gotta be more to this. I better keep pressing here. Well, Nick, finding clear contradictions? Well, she seems pretty sure that it was Powers in that photo. I guess I'll just press her and see if I can shake her conviction. Hold it! Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up, youth today, always wondering about each other, pointing fingers, oh my god. Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Look, let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? He broke this... Lady, you are lying. The samurai spear is the murder weapon, and it was in perfect condition. And he broke it. And she's saying he broke it. Duct tape. Oh my god. This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Break in the shat and admitted with duct tape. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure? You're sure, Your Honor. Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Oh no, this means he's up to something. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Okay. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True. The only person I saw go to the studios before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Time before Hammer's death was. Hold it! How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective, and then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Hold on. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. Hold it! What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? Objection! The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, son. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy. Old windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Time before Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. God. Is he really dragging one leg? Or is it just how the suit is set up? I don't see no duct tape on that spear. God, I can't be questioning myself. was 2:30 p.m. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Like, I don't know what to do here. God, what did I do? I know I don't know what the fudge to do. Time before you missed it. I'm looking at my evidence, but there's nothing here to do. Yes, it was 2:30. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. I already told him. Stupid crap. No one else went there. Yes, I'm sure. Hold it. Are you sure? What about my phone? Oh, what do I do? Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I know that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only one data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. Huh? But believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Oomph! Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you can put it that way. Sigh. I see. Your testimony, please. Other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo a day. Grr! Miss Oldberry! This is the first I've heard of this! Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. So it is to check. But you hadn't finished your guard duties yet. Wait, what? Hold it! Hold it! Another job? That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes. Do you back up all of the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious. What do you mean? How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out that one photo that day. What? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Objection! Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words! Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Oh, wait, was a kid there? Cause it said that a kid could fit there. Lead outside and well, that's where they came in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids! So, on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Are we saying a 3rd grader did this? Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade? Oh yes, well, we see his type here every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It is quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Oh, Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. So are we saying that a third grader killed Hammer. Like, what? Mr. Powers? Yeah, yes. Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. Well, we'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right, and it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. God, sounds real courageous. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. It's the boy. It has to be. Order! Interesting. Let us hear you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers? The great schoolboy! It was the great schoolboy! Why isn't anyone saying anything? Bah! Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with spear. For one thing, the murder weapon was with the Steel Samurai. Would you care to explain just how the boy would have obtained it from him? Maybe that was a dumb move on my part. Maybe. How about absolutely, Nick? Mr. Wright. I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. Oh God, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. May we move on, Mr. Wright. Grr, this fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? The security lady. It was the security lady! Whitney Oldbag! The Steel Samurai was dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag! What? Whippersnapper! Okay, so at least a third grader didn't do it. Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag! That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume and slipped into the Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If he was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth passes? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new dangy evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Dude. Press further! The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it? That doesn't matter! When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to the kids and mean it to your elders' day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof! Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. God, I don't have proof. What? How? Bro, I don't have proof. I mean, I'm gonna present the photo because this is pretty tall for a boy, don't you think? Take that, Your Honor. The murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whoa, that was a pretty nice. Whoa, well, wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Naturally, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. No, not to talk about? But by whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told you not to talk? Well, testify. Witness testimony. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. When is the power of the Oldbag? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, those studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who are these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course! Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. The Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, there it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Hey, freak. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we just have been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whoa. I think I made the right decision ending that there. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. Wait, what? We're already doing it again? Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off of Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. Okay, I did think I made the right decision ending that there, because now we can get more stuff. And now Windbag doesn't have that much heat with us, or at least she doesn't hate us that much. She probably still does hate us, but like, I don't know. But without further ado, I'm gonna end this video here or there. I think this was a pretty nice video. I hadn't played this game in a while. I think that core was pretty fun. So yeah, see you in the next video. I will do a part 2 of this, and yeah, see you there.